ver la grabación para que podamos ir alimentando.
Okay, sí, ya estoy grabando. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna start, guys. As I did the last class, I'm gonna speak in English only because all of you are English teachers. Okay, so I'm gonna just start sharing my screen. This is the screen you will observe at the beginning of Ellii, in the homepage, right? So if you notice, every time you access to Ellii, you will see this type of like information you have in here, like very important information. This is an American page, so they have different things in here. For example, they have a new webinar, Boosting Student Talk Time with Ellii, Practical Tools for Engaged Learning, date February 26th at 1 p.m. PST. Okay. So we have also other benefits like to access to webinars and everything. So if you want to continue just learning other techniques, learning about different information, American culture that you can practically uh, share with your students, to do different activities, festivals, in which here, Ellii, it gives you a lot of information, a bunch of information. Okay. So I want to go step by step today. The previous lesson, I was explaining some little details about some of these tools. This is the material that we have in Ellii. So we have things to discover, for example, different topics about different learning skills. We have lessons. In lessons, you already know that, for example, if I click on lessons, you will find different kind of topics like discussion starters, mini debate, and it is very important always to observe the level they are. I mean, they are for. And we also have young learners and adult literacy, English basics, Word Bank readers. So basically, this is a lot of information. And as I said before, it is very important to have your lesson planning. Yeah, because you are not gonna find like different things. Oh, I like this activity, I'm gonna put it. But what is the function? Okay, what is the objective of that activity in your class? Okay, everything must be with an objective. Okay, yeah. So we have also everyday dialogues, listening in English, real world reading. For example, I find this real world reading very interesting. Why? First of all, they are directed to beginners and intermediate students. And if you're noticing here, this section offers examples of real world texts that newcomers come across in their everyday lives in English speaking countries. Real world reading includes recipes, bills, forms, ads, schedules, posters, and more. For example, ATM receipts, bank statements, internet banking, bus schedules, maps, parking. For example, if we go with this an ATM, a receipt is the one that we get all the time when we click or we select that we want to receive one of these after we just take our money from the ATM. So we have some vocabulary. If you notice, we have in here different type of vocabulary. Actually, this is very technical vocabulary, so you can introduce your students to technical vocabulary that is going to help them in the real life. This is just an example, okay? Remember that I told you that right now, if the students do not have an account, you can do this from your own account and share it and ask for volunteers to help you reading and ask the students to select the answer that they believe it is the correct one, or they can solve the exercise in their notebooks. Okay, so there are different techniques you can use with your groups. Okay, so we have different things in here in the lesson section. Okay, if you notice, there is a lot of things. Okay, we do also have flashcards, videos, resources. For example, what are the resources? We have the assessment tools, the test preparation that I told you the previous class that I will talk about CASA's test preparation. This is an extra, like a bonus that this Ellii platform provide us. Okay, we have certificates of achievement, What about these ones? What are these certificates for? Or how do they get one? We have in here, reward your students on their progress and effort in language learning with Ellii using these bright and friendly certificates of achievement. You can customize your certificates by downloading the PDFs and typing in the fileable fields. Alternately, print the PDFs and use a pretty pen and your personalized handwriting. For example, certificate of attendance, certificate of participation. Okay, this is in Ellii. Ellii. I mean, certificate of participation. How come? That students are doing all their homework, all their activities, all the tasks that you provide them during the lessons on time, okay? Certificate of attendance, that they are always using Ellii. I mean, if they are completing one task, obviously they are having a good attendance, okay, on the platform, okay? For example, let's take a look at the certificate. We can open the PDF, okay? We're gonna wait. Because sometimes we, at the end of the year, we want to just provide them with something to them, okay? So this is an example on how you can create your own certificate, okay? So this is a bonus, an extra, okay? But we do also have other type of, for example, diagnostic certificate for early placement test. Do we have a placement test? Yes, we do have a placement test, okay? So for example, in here, it says, if you can please, Justenia, if you can do me the favor to read the description, please. Teacher Justenia.
So hello.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yes, Teacher Justenia,
Okay.
can you please read the description here?
Okay. Customize this certificate of achievement after your student completes the early placement test. Then share it with your student. You will need to mark the speaking and writing part manually to determine the score. You can determine the level by reviewing the suggestion of on the early placement test description page. The file for student name, teacher name, day, level, and score are editable after you download the PDF.
Okay, so we do have a placement test. As you see, there are different things that you can do in Ellii. It is really nice, okay? For example, here we have a placement test. As we as teachers, we always need to make a placement test at the beginning or at the end of the year, okay? It is really nice to do it in both at the beginning and at the end of the year. In my case, personally, I do not use Ellii in my school because I work in a public school. So we do work in a different way, but I have access to different placement tests for them to be able. I mean, that is actually very helpful for me because I have been like realizing that some of them are good at listening, some others are good at vocabulary, in different skills they are assessed, okay? So we have in here the instructions and everything. They can launch the task, the placement test online or in PDF. In this case, as they do not have access to the account, they can do it on the PDF document, okay? And as always, if you remember this add to class, what is the function of add to class? If you remember from the previous class, why did I explain about this add to class button in here? What is the function of it? Can somebody tell me?
I imagine it is about you add this element to the class or any group that you have created. Is it?
That is correct. That is correct. For example, if you remember, I created a group the previous class just for you to, I mean, to understand a little bit. So you click on add to class, then you select the class. If you remember, I created this group 8th grade B, unit 1, okay? So save, storing your class content drawer, prepping or teaching, okay? So if you remember, I always encourage you, if you already have it in your lesson planning that you're gonna do it at the beginning of the lesson in unit 1, it's gonna be on teaching, okay? Because they are gonna make it, I mean, if they already have the account, okay? If they don't have the account, it is better for you to put it already in your planner. I'm gonna save it and I'm gonna show you. Then all the time you wanna go back, or you wanna go to the previous page, or if you wanna go at the beginning of the page, just to look at the sections, click on the little bubble light, okay? So we have in here classroom, classes. Then there you can observe the selection you have made. You select the class you have created. And if you notice, we have lesson planner, students and details. We go to lesson planner, and the Ellii placement test already appears in teaching. So it doesn't matter if the students do not have their account right now, because the most important here is that you're starting, using the platform, that you're giving life to the platform, okay? And you're introducing the platform in almost every class. I mean, it's not gonna be in every single class, but at least once or twice a week, you can use it, okay? And as I explained before, you don't have to like cover a lot of content from Ellii in your classes, because you already have books, I guess. And that is also very important, okay? That you're not gonna get on Ellii documents and a lot of folders and files, but you also need to use the book, okay? And this is gonna help you, Ellii, for homework and other type of activities. So I'm gonna continue before creating our first class, because you have to already use it. I just need to explain a little bit about the collections. In the collections, you will see organized the type of collections, like the most highlighted collections they have in Ellii. So what's new? We have in here new content per month, English foundations, letters, adults, literacy, numbers, colors and shape, grammar. We have grammar, every topics that you can include in your classes according to your lesson planning, CASA's competencies. CASA's evaluate reading, they evaluate reading, listening, mathematics, vocabulary. So we have in here the things that they have to practice, okay? Because this is a practice for them, okay, they can achieve it. You can use it during their classes. If you're planning to introduce the classes, preparation for your classes, that will be good, okay? But you need to ask your principal and to give like an idea about it to them, okay? We have the EL Civics, Consumer Economics. This is everything about the United States, which is very important for them to know and for you to know. We have the US citizenship, a naturalization, American presidents. Every time a person is gonna get like familiar with the American culture, they are gonna become a citizen, yeah, or they are gonna naturalize and get all the documents. They need to know, obviously, about their history. We have academic subjects, okay? We do also have other type of subjects like for bilingual schools, social studies, language arts, communication skills, science, music and musicians, social emotional learning. This is very nice, actually. I was reading about social emotional learning. So it's an important component of education, especially for newcomers who have the added stress of learning a language in new schools and communities. Managing emotions, building relationships, setting goals, and utilizing community resources are just a few key elements of SEL, which is social emotional learning. This is the acronym for that. Okay, so we also have this that includes all of this, right? A coronavirus experiment, affirmations, and you get hired, autism, back to the office. We also have bad habits. About bad habits sometimes are a, they are an effect of For example, anxious, when people get anxious, that is very important for the students to know. Yeah, about their mental health. Um, we also have other type of activities here that includes all of this, which is the social emotional learning. Okay, so as you already know, this is pretty important for all of your students. And if you know your group, or if you're just starting getting to know your group, you know what do you need to know and what do you need to have in your classes. Okay, we have the CLE competences, interacting with others, getting things done. We have the link themes like family relationships, banking and finance, shopping, travel, weather, okay, holidays, global issues, nations and regions. Okay, so you can just serve in Ellii. Yeah, collections are really nice. And courses and study packs. We have courses and study packs. Okay, these are mainly from Ellii. Okay, we have grammar, groundwork. Yes, these are courses. Okay, so Ellii up A, Ellii up B. All right. So what are the Ellii ups? So it says they assess or they test different kind of vocabulary, different kind of topics. For example, we have numbers, time, and prepositions in LEB. This is a course in which students learn or review the English numbers from 1 to 100. They also learn introductory English vocabulary. So for example, if you notice after your diagnostic that this student needs to reinforce more the numbers because maybe he or she doesn't know the numbers accurately, you can ask them, and also you can actually provide them this link to them, and you can say, okay, so I'm gonna just put this practice in the Ellii page. I want you to practice it, I want you to do it. And of course, as I explained in the previous class, once a student finishes to do something, an activity or a task, the activity will appear on this section so you can review it. Yeah, okay. All right. Then we have LEAP. If you notice, we have letters, basic vocabulary. So this is just to reinforce our students, okay? Yeah. So also you can use it like, for example, I'm gonna teach this lesson, so I'm gonna use Ellii to make it differently. I'm gonna plan my lesson planning based on the Ellii content because there is a lot of content on Ellii about this topic. So maybe the book content it's not that um that extends, that specific, but I'm gonna use this. Of course, you're gonna do it, but in the end, in your lesson planning, you need to have this description that you are gonna base this activity on Ellii, they are gonna do this activity on Ellii, and what is the purpose of that activity. You know how you make your lesson planning, okay? So this is in materials. If you notice, all of this is in materials, okay? The Ellii pools, I already explained that these are very nice to start a plan, to start a class, like a warm-up, okay? In which they can also speak. All of these are speaking activities, okay? They make your students to speak, to interact, to practice, also to participate during the lessons, okay? Always guided by you, okay, mainly. All right, then we have in Save, we have folders. Folders are only used for teachers, okay? These are for us. What you save in there, you can say, for example, I have created one that says reading practice. For example, oh, I like this activity, I'm gonna put it in here, or I need to make a new folder about the students that are not working at all. So folders are free for your use, okay? Yeah, or maybe I'm gonna put in this folder the content that they already did, and maybe I will use it like for other students that I want them to practice more. So it's up to you how you're gonna manage the folders, okay? Yeah, and also maybe that the students that need to improve more in pronunciation, or the students that are doing very nice, yeah, and that maybe they are gonna help you during the lessons to do this kind of activities or to help others. Okay, maybe it's up to you how you're gonna manage the folders. Okay, and this is freely. Okay, this is a bonus that you have as a teacher. Okay, guiding yourself with your folders. I mean, to have everything online, not to have it on paper. Yeah. um well, in my case, I do use both online things and paper hard things, because in a public school they ask you for the physical document. Okay, but in here it is pretty nice to have it always online. It's like a backup that you have, that it's gonna be there. Okay, so it's pretty nice, yeah, that you can use it. So this is an example. Okay, it's up to you if you're gonna create a folder or not. Maybe you're gonna create a folder with the students that are not doing well, that are missing some activities, and you can put in there what activities they are missing, just to have it, I mean, everything handily and just on time. Okay, let's see. Or if you need to put some little diagnostics per class, for example, this student didn't work today because he had problems with her or his computer or cell phone. Okay, we also have the likes. As I explained in the previous class, these lessons are not maybe safe because you're not gonna use them now, and you're not gonna put it in your prepping stuffs, because in the prepping stuffs you put the things that you're gonna use in the very near future. But maybe you like, oh, this activity, this reading is about St. Valentine's, maybe I'm gonna use it for the next week. So you like it, you hit on like it. For example, I'm gonna give you an example here. I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna search for St. Valentine's Day. Okay, so, oh, we do not have anything about it. Let's see. Let's see. Holiday. Let's see here. Love and friendship. Okay, maybe there is something. We have two things about International Day of Friendship, or Amy has a crush. So maybe things that you're gonna use for your lesson on that day. So you can click on here and you can revise what is it about. This lesson includes a short reading about the International Day of Friendship. It also includes vocabulary review and comprehension exercises. Phrasal verbs are introduced and students discuss the intricacies of friendship. So you can take a look at the activity, if you like it, if you feel like they are gonna do it, who is your best friend, what activities, maybe you're gonna do it with them. Like, for example, right now they do not have an account, you can do it like with the whole group. Okay, so you're gonna do it. Is it about friendship? You can do it during this day because, I mean, it's Friends Day. So if you're noticing here, we have save to likes. You can click on it. So remember, if you wanna go back to Ellii, you go to saved, likes, and it appears in here. Okay, so this is for future activities that you may like using. Okay, like for example, on that day, I'm gonna use it. Yeah, because I do already have, I mean, a reason to use it. Okay, I'm not gonna use it any day. No, I'm gonna use it on that specific day. Okay, so it's just it's up on your creativity. Okay, I am very creative in my case. I love doing things like depending on the holidays, depending on the festivities. Okay, as an English teachers, we like doing about sometimes international festivities because we like it. Maybe we as English teachers are very cultural, multicultural. So, well, in my case, I believe I am like that. I don't know what's your opinion about it. I would like to listen one or two opinions about what I have just been saying about multiculturals, that we like other cultures and we like sharing with our students about their culture, other people cultures. What do you think about it? Do you do the same or do you do differently? What type of activities do you do during the year?
Well, yes, actually, we enjoy to learn about other cultures precisely because it's a way to motivate students to participate. Whenever we talk, let's say, about Inuits, whenever we talk about people from India and the things they do, another kind of culture of whatever culture, and sometimes they got like figure out of how is it possible, right? And in other cases, they consider, wow, that is amazing. I didn't know about that. That's why I can imagine, well, I'm not the only one. You are also very interested in culture. I can imagine the rest of the teachers are likewise, that motivated and and to motivate students with a section of
Okay, maybe it cuts. I don't know what happened with the internet or if you have finished, Mr. Virus. Thank you so much for your participation. And yes, we do love multicultural things. We like learning and sharing with them, yeah. And we also like for example, this year I'm planning to create like a festivity about food and dresses from other cultures, dances from other cultures. I believe that it's gonna be beautiful. So that is something you can include in your lesson planning, guys. And I would like to listen any other opinion. Teachers, Veronica, Julio, Yesenia. What do you think, guys? I would like to listen. Mm-hmm. What up?
Okay,
Uh-huh.
may I participate?
Yes, of course, teacher.
Okay, I'm attending the intermediate two at Lourdes, and there was something very interesting for my student because they were reading about Mardi Gras in Louisiana and Rio de Janeiro. Okay, so there are parties kind or festival kind of difference, okay, because it's very different the Rio de Janeiro festival and Mardi Gras, but they learn new vocabulary and new culture, and maybe that is the point, okay, because they need to grasp some new vocabulary and everybody must know general culture, right? So it was a good experience. Okay. And they reflected in their faces that they were happy knowing new information about festivals. And that is my participation, Miss.
Okay. Thank you so much, teacher. Yes, they also learn, as you said, about other cultures and they actually get very excited about it because they are, I mean, sharing what they have learned, sharing the information they have memorized for these activities. Memorizing, I find it very interesting and very useful. Okay. I'm going to tell you a little story. About it. My husband, he was a French teacher, a French tutor. His language was French as a mother tongue. Um, and I remember that he always told me that it is very important to memorize the vocabulary. My husband had mastered 8 languages perfectly. Unfortunately, he passed away the last year due to an accident that he had some time ago, but I do always remember what he told me. It is always very important to memorize. Do not concentrate on pronunciation at the very beginning with the young learners because they are gonna just feel like overwhelmed if you're always pointing, and pointing at the pronunciations. And we sometimes, me, it was my mistake that at the very beginning, before he saying that to me, I remember that I was always pointing at the pronunciation. it is very important for them to understand the structure of the language, he told me, and then they are gonna feel comfortable because they are not gonna commit mistakes in grammar, and then you can go to pronunciation. Okay, so why am I saying this? Because sometimes we tend to focus on pronunciation, okay, and mostly that if they understood or not. Okay, so it is very nice if we as teachers can get like that in mind with the basic learners, because I know that there are some intermediate and advanced students. With them we can have fun practicing pronunciation, like providing more feedback to their pronunciation. But with the young learners, which are like the most population, like the most general population in our schools, we need to help them, yeah, to understand at least what they have to write. I mean, the structures of the sentences, okay, and that they need to learn some sentences, like to memorize sentences, okay, not a bunch of information, because at the end they don't know what they are saying. Okay, I don't know if that had happened to you. It had happened to me like 1,000 times, and at the end I just let them do it because I'm not gonna just cut their, I mean, their inspiration. Okay, but it is always very important to make them memorize like very productive sentences, not like a bunch of information. You're gonna speak 2 minutes, and from the 2 minutes they spoke, they didn't understood, yeah, like the half of the information. So we need, with this type of activities, we enhance like the speaking activities, like, because they also, I'm gonna give an example about some recordings they can make in this Ellii platform, so they can practice pronunciation and understanding. Okay, so that is pretty important. Okay, so I'm gonna explain just a little bit about it, because this type of recordings are like into some, I mean, they are into some lessons. They are not like only, for example, they are not isolated recording lessons or isolated recording activities. They are into other activities, but I'm gonna just like personal information or introducing yourself was a little bit about it. Okay, introducing yourself. Okay, so I have in here break the ice. We have making introductions, everyday dialogues, and making introductions at work. Okay, so we have lunch tasks. Okay, all right, we have in here conversation practice, pair activity. Look at the conversation starters, practice starting each conversation with a partner. Try to respond appropriately, then switch roles. Okay, so we have this type of activities too, but I'm looking for something like to give you a very clear example where they can actually record themselves. Okay, review and reflections. Okay, let me check here. All right, record. Okay, speak up, managing electronic health. Okay. Or maybe I'm gonna check in my students' work, because I remember that there are some reading exercises in which they have to actually record themselves. And I needed to explain this, because this was something that I mean, you were able and you're gonna be able to check, but there are some things that are not like very, very specific. I mean, they are not gonna give you like the grading. If you remember that I explained that there are some activities like this in which they already gave you, yeah, the grades, or like the answer you can provide them. Okay, Yeah, but I'm looking for something else. Let's see here. Graded by Elliot. Well, I don't know what happened with the others. Let's see here. I'm gonna go to classes. I'm gonna go to my last class, which was this, the low intermediate. And we have teaching. What were you doing while she was swimming? Let's see, some activities like this, like grammar, when you're teaching grammar, they also put this type of recordings just to listen to what the students have to say. Yeah. For example, I was teaching the past continuous, okay? Speaking practice, if you're noticing here, every time you see this, what my intention was for you to look at these type of activities. Speaking practice, record your answers to the questions. So what were you doing at 7 last night? So they are gonna be able to click on here. Every time they get to this type of activities, they need to have a microphone, okay? So also, it is very important for you to check what type of exercises they are into the lesson, yeah, or into the whole activity. Because if they need to provide microphone to the class, you have to tell them ahead. Yeah, so for tomorrow or for the next class, please bring your microphones with your earphones with microphone, please. So they are gonna like yesterday I watching TV with my family, so they can click here and they can also listen to themselves. Okay, I'm gonna share my audio here. So yesterday I was watching TV with my family, so they can listen to themselves, they can elicit the answer and record the answer once more. If they are agree with it, they can go next and they can continue with the next one. So
I'm sorry.
this type of recordings, just give me a second, sir. This type of recordings, they are gonna be listened by you, okay? Yeah, these are the type of activities that I do not remember, but as far as I can remember, I was just me. It was me, the one who was grading this, not Ellii assistant. Okay. Yes, Mr. Virus.
Yes, the question is, in order for students to do this activity of recording their voice and their answer, are they going to use cell phone, or is it necessary, mandatory, obligatory to do it in the computer or laptop or something? Because my idea is to take them to the to the computer lab, so they can perform the whatever speaking activity I plan for them. Yeah, and also assign it this specifically as a homework. So, what do you recommend, or how is it possible? Thank you.
Yeah. Well, your point is very nice and it's a good question. So my recommendation for you is if you know and if you notice that these activities are only 7 activities, they are able to do it in a 45-minute lesson. You can take them to the laboratory, but also it depends if you are allowed or if the students are allowed to bring their phones or their laptops or tablets to the school to perform these activities, because sometimes the internet connection in the laboratories are not very good. Yes, so it depends on the type of equipment you have, because I remember that in Getsemani I took some students to the laboratory and there are a lot of computers that they are not able to connect to the internet. So it's going to be time consuming. So for me, it is good if they can bring their own devices. If they are not allowed and if the computer lab is not very good with the internet, you can give it as a homework, okay? Or, I mean, in this situation that they don't have an account, because I don't know if they already have an account, it's not gonna work right now because they are not gonna be able to do it right now. Okay, but what you can do is to do it as a whole group. But once they have their account, you can assign them as a homework, but everything depends on the school's, I mean, directions and instructions, or you can talk to the principal, yeah, if you, or if they are able to just be a little bit more open or friendly to let the students bring their devices, because I know that they bring their devices, okay? So maybe that's the point, and you need to put it in your lesson planning. But it is good if you first ask to the principal if that is possible for some lessons. Yeah, that's why it's very important to have your lesson planning. So it's that's gonna give you like all the opportunity, and it's gonna be like an open door for you to have it as a practice in your classes from their phones, because at this point I believe that at least in Getsemani it's better to use it. I mean, if it's better if them can do it from their phones or their
Okay,
laptops or
thank you.
tablets.
I
Yeah,
understand. Thank you. Appreciate it.
yeah. You're welcome, sir. Yeah, thank you to Mr. Virus, because I had experience working at Getsemani. It's a very nice school, but some computers are not working very well. Okay, so it depends on you guys. You know the reality in your schools, okay? Or if you need to for example, use the laboratory, tell to the principal ahead that there are some computers that maybe are not working, and that you need to have, I mean, if your group is very big, if you have 36, 35 students, that's a big group. So you need to have a lot of working computers. Okay, so that is a technical issue, equipment issue. So for this type of things, you need to ask the students to bring their own things. I prefer that if they can bring their own headphones, their own microphones. With microphones, it is very important, a very important point. And please always check the exercises. Do not only do this, for example, maybe because we are tired and because, oh, the topic of this lesson looks good, I'm gonna just add it to the class. No, please always check all the activities that all that I mean all the lessons or all the little exercises that activity includes. Okay, because maybe you believe, oh, this is a grammar topic. Okay, because if you notice in here, just on the surface, it says the aim of this lesson is for students to learn or review the past progressive tense using while. Okay, it doesn't give you like any more information. So if you only add to class, you will know that they will need to, I mean, take their microphone or their headphones, okay? So that is something very important, okay? Always be careful with it. Okay, so we're gonna go to the best part, okay? Here, as I was explaining, once you finish the teaching stage, you can move this to the top. I mean, in this case, they won't be able to see it. The students are only able to look at the teaching section. And they are not gonna look it like this. They are gonna look it in a different way. Okay, they are gonna look only at only the activities. Okay, like the little squares. Okay, so we're gonna go here, and I want you to take a look at your lesson planning, please. I want you to go to this section, to classroom. I want you to click on classes to go to this page, okay? Go to classes and you're gonna create class. Okay, in create class, you click. You have to put the name of your real class right now. I mean, remember that you're gonna create, if you teach English in different grades, you're gonna create a class for each grade, yeah? Not for each unit, for each grade, 7th, 8th, 4th, 5th, 9th, 10th, 11th, okay? Please just put in the chat when you already finished this section to put the name to your class. Remember that this feedback mode is for writing and speaking tasks. Are you gonna do it manually? It means that you're gonna check it manually, or suggested, or automatic. I prefer suggested because they gave you the suggestion. Take it or not, that is gonna be up to you. Okay, automatic, I really don't like it because I need at least to have that that I want to push myself to check what the students are doing, okay, or at least to check, oh yeah, I'm gonna learn, okay. So this little, for example, in the suggested, if you notice, they give you like the hint, yeah, take it or leave it. It's up to you, but at least you're checking, oh, this is a very nice feedback that you can improve yourself. I mean, you can improve your teaching or checking skills, okay, because we as teachers sometimes do we only type very good job, but and we gave them like a 8th grade or 9. So but what else, they need to know more. So I prefer suggested, okay, but it's up to you, okay. Tell us about your class, what is the level you're teaching, okay, the age, skills. If you want to create, I mean, if you want to create all your classes, I mean, you can do it now if you believe you're able to. Yes, mister?
I'm sorry, I have a question for the class. Could you go back to the that specific space? You have the name, no. You have the ages, you have the grade, but the other one, what was it?
This
Yeah,
one.
the skill, the skill.
Skills, all the skills. What skills are you
I
going to be
mean,
checking?
yeah, imagine that I have to explain everything for the 8th grade, for example. So, how to be one class for listening and another class for reading?
Oh, no. What it happens here is that this class is not going to be only for one 45-minute class. It's going to be your class for all the year. That is the
Uh-huh.
group you're going to create, because once you finish to create this class, you're going to share the code, the class code with your students. So, because English is overall, I mean, you're going to teach in every single class with each grammar,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
very specific, but what I do is always to select all of the skills, because during the year I'll be teaching all of the skills. Okay?
Yeah, that was my question. Okay,
Uh-huh.
thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, guys, just put in the chat once you finish to create a class.
I'm sorry I cannot create a class because I have no access.
You have no access.
No, we
So
had
do I.
Okay,
I
can you
I have
please, guys, put a thumbs up, only the ones who are able to create this? Because I don't know who are able. I know the ones who are not able, but the ones who are able, I'm not sure who is able to create classes right now. Please thumbs up with a little icon here in Zoom. Put thumbs up, please, guys. So it's for me to know. It's for my information. Yesenia, are you able to create classes? Yesenia, hello?
Yes, I my of account and I am able to create a class.
Okay. And what grades are you teaching?
In
Because,
what
uh-huh.
on this case, I am creating a class for first grade.
First grade, okay. And are you gonna teach only first grade the whole year?
No, from 1 to 9 grade.
Okay, so you have to create 9 classes, ma'am. Okay?
Uh, now 9 classes.
Yeah, 9 classes. Because you need to put different exercises according to their ages, okay?
So nothing is necessary that I create my class.
Yeah, it is necessary because you're not gonna just, I mean, to share the same activities with first grade and with the third grade. I mean, you need to put every class is a class. I mean, first grade, second grade, it's another class. Third grade, it's another class. Okay, for the whole year. Okay, I think that you have some issues with the connection, teacher Yesenia.
Um, so I understand the exercise, right? But in this moment, I need to create night classes.
At least one or two. Okay, just
So
for
I
you
don't
to,
know.
it's
What
up to
about the
you.
others?
It's up to you, ma'am. I don't know. Because, I mean, night classes are a lot of classes, but at least one or two, I mean, first grade and second grade, you can do it. Yeah. So you can see that you already have the two classes and you can continue because I believe that all of you are in classes now, right? I mean, you already started the year. So you're gonna use it now. All right. So teacher Hector, are you able to?
No, I can't get into. Sorry. Okay, maybe I'm gonna text you privately in order to ask for your help, right?
Okay, but are you able to access as a teacher?
No, I can't.
No, you can. Okay. So in this case, you can text teacher Tatiana, licenciada Tatiana, because she wanted to know the ones who are not able to access to the platform. Yeah.
Surely, surely.
Yeah. Because she put,
Of
well, you
course,
already
I'm
have
gonna
her
do it.
contact number. Mm-hmm. All right. Teacher
Okay.
Julio. Teacher Julio. Teacher Francisco.
Hi, good evening. I talked with Tatiana earlier, and I told her that I have been kind of busy, and I haven't been able to try. According to her, she did it. I mean, like she was able to get with my name, but myself, I haven't tried yet.
Okay, can you please try it? Because this is the purpose of this lesson. Of this time for you to create the classes. Can you please
Okay.
try if
Sure.
you're able to access to the account? If you're not able to, you can text her, send her a text message that you are not able because this is the purpose, okay, guys, for you to practice.
Hi there. Um, I'm not able to do it right now yet, but I tried after this meeting, or maybe if I can't, can I get a contact about someone who can help me later?
Yeah, of course. The one who is gonna help you is teacher Tatiana with the accounts, but with the content and everything, I am able to help you guys. And actually, I'm gonna share my WhatsApp number here. If you need to ask me something or teacher, can you please help me with this? Because I'm not sure. Because I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you're gonna be able to. This is just a matter of surfing the Ellii page. Okay, so
All
my name
right,
is
thanks.
Gabriela Beltran. You can add me to your contact. Just for you to know, right, that I'm there to help you. Okay. And organization, we have reports, okay, but this is with the organization, with the school, all right, okay. For example, in here, this feature is currently unavailable, so this is unavailable. What about the team? I haven't used them before. Okay, we have in here beer manage the team connected to Red Panel. This is about the business, the school. Okay, yeah, so this is not something that you'll be using. Okay, I have in here the one teacher. I have the teachers' names in here. Okay, so this actually is the one that I'm accessing is the Red Peniel. Yeah, I don't have an own account. I'm just using the company's account. So this is basically, guys, something that I just wanted to explain. Okay, so once you have your class, because I already have my class here, I already created one. If you are gonna share it, you're gonna click here, you're gonna create, you're gonna send this class code to your students. Once they enroll in your class, they are gonna appear here, okay? And what happened here? I'm gonna explain this. I'm gonna go to my students. Once you have students in there, you're able to look at your students, okay? Yeah. So if you're noticing here, these are my students from the online lessons. Okay, I have Annie, I have Helen, and this is pretty important. I just wanted to explain this to you because the students, they are gonna access with their Gmail account, I guess. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not pretty sure about it because my students, they did access. They create their, their accounts, but not like yours. Yeah, they have to access through their Gmail accounts. That is the way it works with the students. Okay, so they access, but they have to do it only once. If they do it twice, like this, if you notice, we have Annie twice. This, for example, account is not gonna be used. It's not actually in use. So it's like taking an space from other person. All right. And this is paid. Okay. So you have to be careful with them. To tell them they need to be careful that they need to access with an email account that they know and that they won't forget, and with the password that they won't forget, because sometimes they forget the passwords and they access from another Gmail account or from another email. So that is another person. It's Ellii accounts, Ellii platform takes it like this, that if they access from different Gmails or emails, they are two different people, okay? So this is already taken, yeah? But it's not gonna use, but it's already there, yeah? And it's paid, okay? So they have to be very careful with it, okay? They need to use, for example, if you're noticing here, I have 3 Adrianas, the name, you see one email, another email, and another email, okay? So they need to be careful with it, all right? You can take a look at your students. For example, I'm gonna take a look at Walter, okay? What do we have about Walter in here? Okay, only we have the email, okay? Yeah. What about the 3 dots that we have in here? For example, if I'm gonna go with the 3 dots here, we have, for example, change password, that I'm gonna change the password for that student. So maybe from my case, because I'm using the business account, I'm able to archive a student. I'm not, that student is not able anymore, or this person is not gonna continue anymore, but I'm not gonna hit on that. So this is like an attendance list that you can use and to see which students are now in your classes. We have filters, all classes. So if you have like teacher Yesenia, that she has 9 classes, she is gonna be like checking all the 9 classes in here, and that she can go from here to the one that she wants to look at. Okay, yeah. So basically that is the purpose for the students list. Okay, and what about if the students finish the activities? Okay, what about it? For example, I'm gonna go back to this class because it's the only one that I've been using only. So for example, what happened with this lesson? Did they do it? Didn't they? So you can click on view students results, okay? So you can come here. So what happened with the students? Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 students finish it. Okay, all the tasks. All right. So if you're noticing here, this is the progress. 5 out of 5, 3 out of 5. If you notice, they need to have 5 out of 5. In this case, 5 are all the activities that they need to accomplish. If they have 3 or 2 out of 5, they are missing the other amount of activities. And how much time did they take doing this activity? In this case, it says 55 minutes and 21 seconds. Okay. So we have in here a little check, feedback given. We already provided the feedback. I mean, I already checked the activity. We have complete. So if you notice, if you access to that specific activity from that specific student, you're gonna see in here that how much time she took for each exercise, okay? And you can take a look at the score. For example, if you click on the score, you can see the score and all of the feedback that we have provided to this student, okay? I mean, you have actually the day, the time, everything. Okay, so that is not like, but teacher, I did it, but you didn't check it. No, there is no excuse in here. Okay, so if you notice, this is a general score about all this activity, which is a 68.03%, like 6.8. Yeah, so it is nice because you already have a grade. It's not necessary to go like, this is the suggested checking, yeah, that I explained. This is the suggested, that they already gave you the answer and the response, and if you take it or leave it, it's up to you, okay? But all of it, it's pretty nice, okay? So this is one student. Now I'm gonna go with Victor, Steven. So for Steven, he never did it. So you have in here that the student never worked, never did activities. All right, so this is, I mean, super nice. I have another one who didn't do it. I have this one, Walter. He did all of the activities. What happened with the eye? Visible results. The results are visible. Yeah. Okay. The student did not answer this question. Okay, the student did not answer this question. So in here, if you notice what happened with this, score is 0%. Maybe something happened because it says complete, but something happened with maybe his internet connection. Yeah, because it says complete, but he never did it actually. Yeah. So maybe something happened because remember, this is online activities and technical issues can happen. So you need to take a look at this type of activities and you can ask them to submit them again to check what happened. You see, I was checking your things, but it says complete, but you never completed. So every time you see a little check, every time you see a little check in here, it's because the student completed. Okay. Yeah. But you can also send a screenshot to the student. Maybe Adriana, I'm not pretty sure, but maybe because she has like 3 accounts, maybe something happened with it. I'm not pretty sure. So the due date, it's not here. So what happened, Adriana, with this, right? You have an issue here. You didn't let me know. So what happened? So you see this activity. None of the students, only like some students did it. Yeah, you see it. Diego did it. Yeah, it's completed, but the due date is not here. So what happened in here? Yeah, in this activity. Okay. So because some of them they skip the activities. Okay, and some of them, there are some exercises in which they do not have to do anything. For example, if you remember, there are some beginning activities that says, what is your first name? Or what is your best friend's name? That is like an open activity that it's not necessary to be graded. So sometimes it happens like this. There are different options, but that is the reason why I always tell you, open all the activities for you to know how many activities are they, what is each activity about, okay? Because if you notice in here, maybe it's complete, but weird, because there is no grade, there is no due date. Maybe something happened, I don't know. Yeah, but maybe it's an open activity, okay? And you can check it, of course, you can check it. All right, you can go here. So I need to check what's going on in here. All right. So you can go to this lesson actually, and you can check the first activity because me as a teacher, I don't remember. Yeah, I won't remember the activities in that activity. So if you notice in here, we have read and listen the story. So in this case, if you notice the first activity, it's only to read and listen, and you just click and finish. So that's the reason why in that activity, it appears like completed, but with no grading. Okay. So, all right. Yeah, Mr. Virus, you have a question.
Yes, I had a question regarding how many activities is reasonable to assign every, I don't know, every week. Like 5, is it okay with 5, or what do you suggest? Because I'm not sure the way are going to respond with so many activities.
Yeah, in this case, we have to make it as easier as possible, teacher. So I always recommend to make one activity a week in order they can get like, I mean, into the platform. So one or two activities, not that much, not a long activity. If you assign a homework, that's why it is very important once you create a class to select the suggested check-in. Because with the suggested check-in, it's not gonna be like very, I mean, you're gonna put a lot of effort in every single student, but reasonably one or two activities per week, one activity at the beginning, so just for them to understand what is the process of the platform. And also it is at this point, because I don't know if your students, for example, Mr. Virus, are the students in Getsemani already, they have an account already?
Uh, no, to be honest, I don't think they have an account yet. We need to create everything from the very beginning.
Okay.
But okay, I will take it as you say, only one, let's say, doing in the class and another one as homework, at least for this month. Yeah.
Yeah, at least
And
for
we
this
feel
month.
more ready. We're gonna increase little by little.
Yeah, because also they are gonna get like familiar with the processes, and they are not gonna be like uh maybe afraid of clicking on something that is not. So it's reasonably to make me put one or two activities. Yeah, one activity per week, or one activity 1 week yes, 1 week no. You can at this point create something like in general with the whole group, and just go step by step. Ain't no worries about it, okay? Because this Ellie, I mean, I never put a lot of efforts checking the statements. Only the speaking activities, yes, right? Because I needed to give them my feedback with the pronunciation to the intermediate ones. So, teacher Jasenia was asking me how to go and create a class. So, if you notice, once you access to Ellie, you are on the home page. So, from the home page, you always need to click on Classroom. Now, in Classroom, you need to check and you need to click on Classes. Okay? So, in this case, you need to click on Create Class. Now, if you're gonna create a class for first grade, you can put first grade, or in Spanish, I don't know, primer grado, and then into parentheses, first grade, because usually, sometimes when I was teaching the little ones, I would put like here, first grade, for example, first grade A, yeah, first grade A, and you can add extra information, for example, unit 1, to have it everything in order, okay? So this is the feedback mode that is gonna make your life easier, okay, for writing and speaking at tasks. So I always click on suggested because Ellii suggests score and feedback. Teacher approves, edits, and sends to students. So it's up to you. Automatic you're not able to even look at it because Ellii is gonna send the grade at once. Okay, but I don't like doing it because you have to look at the exercise and you know your students. Maybe they put a lot of efforts on doing something and Ellii is gonna prove only like the perfect, okay? So I believe that automatic is for advanced or intermediate B2 level students, but I prefer suggested because you know the reality of your students, okay? That maybe oh, this student is getting good because the student is, I mean, improving himself or herself with the vocabulary. So you take that into account. So that's why I always suggest to select suggested, okay? So then we have the selections, okay? Teacher Yesenia, are you on the same page with me?
Yes, I understand those steps, but when we have the class, the name, and this information, what we need to do next, which is the next step to add information
You
on
finished
this
all of this?
couch. How we can add more information on these classes?
Yeah. My question is, did you finish all of this?
Yes, I finished that.
Okay. So I'm gonna select, for example, in my case, I'm gonna do it, okay? Just to explain, all right? Age, question learners, then I'm gonna listen it. Skills, listening. Okay, grammar, pronunciation, reading, speaking, vocabulary, writing. Okay, then I click on save. Okay, now I already have my class. Yeah, I share this code with the students, okay? Now, to add all the information I put on, you go to the lesson planner. If you notice, you will have three main things: lesson planner, students, and details. Details are for you to change information. For example, you finish unit 1 with the first grade, now you go with unit 2, you change, okay? And you just need to click on save, okay? For example, this is just as an example. For example, teacher, now you already have your lesson planning. Ya tiene su lesson planning ahí con usted, right? So I want you to go to the lesson planner here, okay? You have nothing, no tiene nada, obviously. So I want you to go to the lesson planning that you have, okay? That you already have. For example, in unit 1, what are you gonna teach in the first week or in this week? What are you teaching this week, teacher Yesenia?
So, first grade, the topic will be colors and numbers, probably.
Okay, so to make it easier, because you're not gonna surf all the Ellii platform to look at colors and numbers, you can put in here colors and numbers in this section, colors and numbers. You're gonna make a search. What do we have? Oh, we have nothing about colors and numbers. Okay, weird. So we're gonna go with the materials, maybe the flashcards, because you're gonna teach vocabulary. Okay, in flashcards, we have letters and numbers. Okay, colors and shapes. For example, here, we have letters and numbers. All right, so we're gonna go to view more. View more. So we have the numbers. Let's see how much or how many numbers do we have. Okay, we have it until you see we have a bunch of numbers in here. Yeah. So in this case, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go to this part. Okay, let's see here. Okay, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you have all of it. All right, let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna go to number 1. I'm gonna click on number 1. Okay. Okay, we have actually we have the opportunity to print it, to save it, to set, yeah? Or you can only do this, for example. If we need to save the set, save to, you have no flashcard sets, you can click on your set numbers. Until what number? ¿Hasta qué número va a enseñar?
For first grade, as from 1 to 15.
From 1 to 15.
15, yes.
Okay, you're gonna click on save. I'm gonna repeat this process, okay? I'm gonna repeat this process because actually the flashcards are not something that you're gonna join to the class because it has pronunciation. So you can access to the materials already if you have access to internet in the classroom. So you can go to materials, flashcards, because flashcards are with pronunciations. So you are gonna have that bonus in your class in order not to be like speaking, yeah, all the time. And so the students can also listen to other type of pronunciation, okay? Yeah, so I'm gonna clear selection, no keep. So because, oh, yes, clear. Because I wanna explain this. If you notice in here, we don't have the option to add this to the class because they are flashcards, and flashcards come with pronunciations, okay? So what you can do is do it at once, as I'm doing it here, yeah? Have it, ready before the class, of course. Accessing to this page before the class. So you can go to 0 because you're gonna start from 0. If you notice,
0,
we have pronunciation.
0, 0,
So from here, you can actually do other activities. For example, you teach them. You can say, repeat after the pronunciation.
0,
0, they are gonna say.
0,
0, they are gonna say. So you can continue from 0 to 15. So then you finish, okay? You can just elicit the image on the projector. So they are gonna listen and you're gonna tell them, for example, you're gonna listen to one number and you're gonna listen and write it on a big number on your notebook. So for example, you can go here randomly, yeah? For example, you put on here this number, yeah? And they are gonna listen this. They are gonna listen to the number 5. So once they listen to number 5, they're gonna write 5 in the notebook and they are gonna show you here because they are like babies. They need to learn, okay? So in this case, if you wanna do the extra job because you're gonna use it in other classes and everything, what you can do is to save to set, yeah? Numbers, save, okay? Successfully save one flashcard, okay? So, but this is gonna be due or this is gonna be done before the class, okay? Not during the class. So once you have finished the sets, let's imagine from 1 to 15, okay? I'm gonna click here. It's up to you. You're gonna go to save flashcard sets. So from flashcard sets, let's imagine that you did this, you made this job in your house during the weekend to prepare this for your students. So now you can go at the very beginning of the class, instead of doing it like looking, you can have it like this already. Yeah. Okay. So flashcards are in the folders section or in the saved sections. Remember, you have folders, flashcard sets, and likes. Okay. So you can do the same with the numbers, no, with the colors as well. Okay. So numbers and colors. And you can put, for example, you can create the set numbers and colors and you can put it in one set if you prefer. Yeah, it's up to you. So you see there are a bunch of colors. Yeah, for them, beige, red, orange. So the same. If you want to create a new set for colors, you can click on new set, colors, click on the little square, save. And the same. At the beginning of the class, the next day, you go to flashcard sets. You have a new flashcard set with the name colors. Okay? Teacher?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, so remember, some things are gonna be like very manual, like this one, and everything depends on your lesson planning, and some other depends on what else are you gonna teach on the section grades you have. Okay, so I mean, it's always the same. With the little ones, you need to put a lot of effort to do all the activities, but it's gonna be functional for you. Okay, do you have a projector? Yeah, or do you have a television in your classroom? Because at Getsemani, with my own experience, I could use the projector in every class, the television as well. So it's up on your lesson planning. You have to put it on your lesson planning if you need a projector, at least at this stage. And what happened, teacher Yesenia? What do you think with your students? Are they gonna be able to bring their phones or their laptops? How are they gonna work in the platform? What have you think about it? Tell me.
Well, you ask in general or in Getsemani?
No, for teacher Yesenia, because she has first grade, and I'm very interested
Okay.
on how is she gonna work, because I mean they are first grade.
Okay, I
Um,
see.
on this case, if they don't have laptops or computer, probably we can work in the classroom. I can do it in order to practice pronunciation, writing, to memorize how we can write this word or something related with the topic. In this case, we are talking about colors and numbers. In this case, the I can use papers, mini papers, with the numbers and the colors. Um, will be an activity. I don't know.
Okay, that is interesting. I ask you not because of curiosity, but I just needed to give you like, because I'm also teaching English the first grade in the public school this year. Actually, I'm gonna start the next week. So because in the public schools they have a tablet each student. Okay, so and now kids are very open with technology. So but if they are not able to bring a cell phone or a tablet for the class, you can do this like in general. But as I know, every single father or every single family has paid the platform for their students, right? So it's gonna be like, okay, but what is gonna happen? Are they gonna use it or not? Because that is the first point. Yes, of course, they are gonna use it as a homework, because in your case, I believe it's gonna be very functional to use it as a homework platform. I mean, to homework during the week, that they are gonna use this and this platform, because remember, teacher, you are the ones who are gonna teach the parents. Parents, they don't know, at least for the little students. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, up to sixth grade, parents are always asking, teacher, how can I access? So you need to provide them with the correct guideline. Andre?
I just have a question. Maybe it can be so obviously, but as I know, in this platform, you can have a record about your students. But what about if a student left your class? No, I'm not talking about this platform exactly, but for example, if you know, if one of your students left your class, can you delete the account of that student in the platform?
My suggestion is not you to do it. Okay. Yeah. Only if you also, but you need to ask your principal before doing anything, guys, all the time. Okay.
All right.
Even though it sounds like obvious, like in French they say, but we, yeah, obviously you need to ask your principal, because in my case I can do it, for example, with the students here, but I'm not sure, am I able to, or can I do it? I don't know. So it's better for you to ask the principal and to know the reason why the student is not anymore in the class or in the school. For example, I have Helen, this one. You need to archive a student. Are you gonna archive the student? Yes or no? It's not your decision. Okay. So I believe that in that situation, you need to ask before doing it. If they tell you, yes, go ahead and do it, so it's okay. Yes. But if not, it's better not to touch that little thing in the platform. Yeah. So because in here you have the active, the pending, and the archive. Having here one archive. Was it Claudius or Enriquez? So this was archived because this is a person from Capcom, and she was only doing a testing on the platform. So she was not able to, she was just doing it once. Okay. But in this case, I didn't archive the student. I think that this is what Tatiana did, but yeah, always ask before doing that, or if you have a question about students, and because if you archive one student, that student won't be able to get in the class or get access to the platform. Okay. So that's what I know with the archive students, they are not able to access to the platform. Okay. So don't touch it. Okay. So okay, do you have any questions, guys? Because unfortunately, you are not able to create your class today. That will be like time saving for you to do it at least today. Yes.
Well, it's not exactly a question because I feel confident in the use of this platform. It's pretty, well, it looks like pretty familiar to me.
Yeah.
But the problem is that, the password of my email was the real problem. Hopefully tomorrow we're going to solve it with Licenciada Tatiana, right? And in that case, it's going to be everything okay.
Okay. Yes, because I know that you're confident. It's not very difficult to understand this activity or these pages. Actually, if you're noticing here, there are some parts in this Ellii platform which they have some tutorials. For example, here in classes, I think, no, let's see here. In this section, in this case, when you access to the class, in lesson planner, if you notice, it says watch tutorial. So there is a tutorial about this space, okay? So if you don't understand or if you don't remember, how am I gonna do this? Watch the tutorial. The tutorial is pretty nice, okay? So I don't know if you're able to look at my video. Are you able to look at the video that I just put? I didn't play it, but I just put a video. Are you able to look at it?
Yeah, I can see it.
So if you're noticing here, you can just play it. And these guys are pretty nice explaining everything. So this is not that difficult. Yeah, this is 11 minutes. Actually, I watched these tutorials, and for other plans and for other things like for grading, I think that there is a tutorial too, because I remember that I watched it. I watched a very nice guy explaining, but there it says watch tutorial. Okay, she explains, let's see, who is it? This girl explains everything about grading, the grade
Let's assume
fee
that we
and
want to create
everything. Yeah, so you have a tutorial about this. Okay, needs grading. Yeah, it's the same, girl. So you see there is a tutorial here. If you need to look at it, if you don't remember or you don't understand, and you already have the students and they already are sending the homework and everything. So every time you see a little red circle in here above this little icon, it's because there are some graded. That means you have some pending grading. So you need to take a look at it, okay? Obviously. All right. Yeah, let me see. For saved, is it a tutorial for folders? Let me see. In here, we don't have, right? Actually, we do not have a tutorial for every single thing, okay? But let me see. Sometimes if you need help or if you have a question, okay, we have some instant answers in here. But if you need to ask something, you can, for example, I'm gonna put my name, Gabriela Beltran. Subject, English. Email, visit. How can we help? What is the function of folders in Ellii? Okay, I'm gonna send a message. We're on it. So this is not a chat, but they are gonna send you a message to your email in a few hours. Yeah. But also, guys, because I know that we are as English teacher are very, what is the word that we learn by ourselves? What is the word, guys? I don't remember the word right now. But in Spanish, it's like
Empirical?
empirical. Yeah. Yeah. So sometimes,
Self-learning.
uh-huh. So for example, if you notice in here, I look in Ellii. What is the function of folders in Ellii? So save a content, plan ahead. There is not something specific for it. Like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do in folders? But if your principal uses Ellii and if she is able to use it and she wants you to have something in folders very specific, obviously you're gonna do it, okay? So this is like something that the IA gives you, okay? Yeah, but if you notice in here, there are so many things you can look at is in tutorials. Yeah, but if you get stuck on something, of course, you can ask me. You have my phone number, or if you if you want me to help you doing something on the platform, I guess I will be able to access. I'm not sure because I'm not working. I'm still working with Capricorn, but not that much because I stopped giving classes because I have my classes in the public school. My whole schedule is complete, morning and afternoon, so I finished classes 5:30, 6 p.m. since the very early morning. So I don't have any more time to provide lessons at night. So that's why Licenciate Tatiana asked me for this time. So if you are able to, sometimes I am free some hours in the school. So if you want me to help you accessing to your account and doing something, I can do it. No worries. Okay, at the very beginning, everybody needs some kind of help. But I know that some of you are like me, that I prefer to look in the internet for information and just do it by myself. Okay. But if you want to help me, if you need something from my side, or any ideas that you would like to do, like a festival or something, I will be more than pleased to help you, okay? Because that is super nice to have some, because I'm preparing a spelling bee contest for the next month as a competition, so maybe some of you, okay, can go and visit us. I don't know. We can do different things, okay? So if you notice, I received an email from Ellii, okay? So it says, hi, thank you for your reaching out. Oh, it says, we try to respond within 1 business day to any urgent matters. For matters related to content suggestions, feature suggestions, or general inquiries, we usually respond within 2 business days. So they are gonna take at least 2 business days to responding to my question, okay? So, because it's not pretty difficult, all right? Okay, okay, teachers, that will be everything from my end. I don't know if you have any other questions. If you do not have questions, that will be everything for today. We're gonna finish at least 10 minutes before 9 because you don't have ready your passwords or your accounts. I mean, to create your classes and to start surfing and having fun in Ellii. So that will be everything from my side. If you have any questions, you can reach me out to my phone number. Okay?
Thank you, Miss. Appreciate.
It's a pleasure. Thanks to you for attending this class. And I hope you have a beautiful night.
Thank you and God bless you. See ya and thanks for helping us and
You're
teaching us
welcome.
how to use the platform.
It's a
See
pleasure.
ya.
Bye-bye, everybody. See ya.
All right.
Bye.
Take
God
care.
bless you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.